All right, what's up? It's your boy Spartan P. Back at you with another video. I'm currently at Export right now. I just got done doing a little deadlift workout, so I'm feeling good. But it was one major key video that I wanted to make and touch on. It's one question that people always ask me all the time, like all throughout my life. People always ask you, how do you get your abs? How do you keep your stomach so flat? How is your core so strong? How do you get abs? I want abs. I want a six-pack. And number one, I'm gonna touch on your core muscles, because for some reason it's a big mistake in life, in the health industry, that people think your core is just your six-pack. That's just one layer to the game. Your core, your six-pack is not just your core. You got your obliques on the side. You got all the muscles in your back, like your lower back and whatnot, that keep your spine stabilized in one spot. Your core is not just your six-pack. So if you're on a one-track mind, going to the gym thinking you're going to do crunches and your core is going to be fine, no. It's more than just a six-pack. You got your side muscles, your obliques, you got your erector spinae in the back, which is basically your lower back muscles and whatnot. And it's more than that. I'm just touching just the main core muscles. Excuse me. But anyways, back to the core. Now, the first thing you want to do if you want a tight stomach, a flat stomach, a strong core to keep your body stabilized and whatnot, so you can do these other movements in the gym, is you have to make sure your diet is right. If you're eating bad, eating sugar, high salt diet, high fat diet, then your core is not going to show at all. Because abs are built in the gym and then they finish off in the kitchen. It's a teamwork dynamic. So first you gotta get your diet right. You have to get a lot of lean meats that's high in protein. You gotta eat clean, good fats, like fats from salmon or avocados and whatnot. You gotta eat good carbs and whatnot, not the bad, like simple carbs. You gotta eat complex carbs. But anyways, I'm not gonna dive too much in that because that can be confusing. I'll do another video on that about nutrition. But anyways, the first key is you wanna make sure that your diet is nice and clean. Nice and clean diet. So I just say lean meats, no pork, a lot of vegetables. I'll just keep it as that. Lean meats and a lot of vegetables and fruits. Now, the next thing you want to do, because a lot of people think they can go to the gym, like I said before, and just do crunches and crunches and crunches and crunches. Life does not work like that. I wish it did. The second thing you want to do in the gym to get a nice strong core and abs is compound movements. That's the first thing you want to do, is compound movements. And a compound movement is just an exercise that's multi-jointed. For example, squats, deadlifts, overhead presses, power cleans, pull-ups. Yes, I know those are harder workouts, but once you get those down, those are going to give you more bang for your buck. Those are the compound movements. Those are the movements where your core has to be stabilized in order for you to do the movement safely and successfully. So for example, say on the ab machine, I got the average person about 70, 80 pounds on there, and you're doing your crunches. Now, which one do you think is a better stimulus for your core? You doing 70, 80 pounds, doing crunching your way through life, or a 300-pound squat or a 300-pound deadlift? Because your core comes into place as an isometric contraction. And when I say an isometric contraction, it's just like doing a plank. Your body is not moving. You're not doing no trunk extension, no trunk rotation on for oblique twist. Your body's staying straight and your core is just contracting the whole time. That's an isometric contraction. So when it comes to compound movements, squats, deadlifts, pull-ups, overhead presses, power cleans, your core is doing an isometric contraction the whole time, which means on a squat, as I'm going down and going up, your core has to be tight the whole time to hold your body up and make sure it doesn't rock. So which one you think is better? Doing a little bit of pounds on a crunch, or your body staying tense the whole time on a 300-pound squat? Or for example, on a deadlift, you're doing 300-pound deadlift, in order for your body to get that bar up safely, your core, which is your lower back, your obliques and your abs, have to stay tight the whole time so you can successfully get the bar up. Same thing with overhead presses. When you're standing and you're pushing the bar up, in order for your body not to give out, rock side to side, or your spine to bend backwards, your core has to stay tight. Same thing with power cleans. When you're pulling the bar up and flipping it, your core has to stay tight. So you always want to base your foundation and your pillars around compound movements. You do not want to skip compound movements. And if you don't believe me, do the research. Go on YouTube and Google your favorite athlete or whatnot, not your Instagram model who most likely has surgery, or your favorite bodybuilder who had steroids, is currently taking steroids. Go to a real athlete and see the workouts they're doing. And they're not on no ab machine all day crunching their life away. That might be extra, some pretty stuff, but when it comes down to the gusto, you're going to see them doing compound movements, heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, So as long as you want a nice, strong, defined core, eat clean, drink a lot of water, and do compound movements, because that isometric contraction, once again, which is your core just staying tight throughout the whole movement, is way better than sitting on a machine riding them out. That's why I always say athletes train on 2 feet, because when you're standing up doing your workouts, your core has to flex the whole time to keep your body stabilized in order to do the movement. So once again, if you want to look like an athlete, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to train like one of them. Think of your body as a house. The foundation of the house, you want a nice, strong, reliable foundation. And that foundation is going to be built through the compound movements. Then you can go to the machines after and do the wallpaper, which is all that pretty stuff. So once again, everybody who want to know how you get abs, how you keep a flat stomach, how your core stays strong, to run fast and jump high and do athletic movements, you have to base your foundation around compound movements. And eat a nice, clean diet with lean meats, no pork and no red meat, and vegetables and fruits. And drink a whole lot of water. So eat clean and do compound movements. And then yes, at the end, you can do your crunches and your oblique twists and whatnot and your leg lifts. Yes, you can do those, but don't think that's going to be your foundation to get abs. That's the extra stuff, that's the extra credit stuff. The gusto is the compound movements for the isometric contraction, And that's it for another video today on the core and the abs. It's your boy Spartan P, and I'm out.